Hi everybody, my name is Christine Randazzo Kirschner. I am a GI expert dietitian and the co-founder of Amenta Nutrition. And today I am super excited to be here and cook with you our quinoa and roasted chickpea rainbow bowl. So why did I choose this recipe? This recipe is not for a specific digestive disorder, but instead these are all GI friendly foods that can help nourish your microbiome. And why is this important? Well, your microbiome is made up of different organisms. They can be viruses, bacteria, archaea, etc. And we've seen in studies that those with digestive disorders, for example, IBS, have an imbalance of these microorganisms. Okay, so there's what's called dysbiosis. And then on the other end of that, patients or people who have 30 or more different plant foods in their diet every week have really beneficial bacteria and organisms that live in their microbiome, and it's nice and well balanced. And so today in our salad, or bowl rather, we have all these beautiful ingredients that are rich in polyphenols, fiber, and omega-3s. And we're going to go through each one of those ingredients, their benefits, and then we'll get cooking. Okay, so in the oven I have already roasted our chickpeas. They just finished up, so I'll take them out in a moment. And then I also have quinoa here. Now, if you're cooking this at home, this only takes about 10 or 12 minutes, but I pre-cooked it for us today. So quinoa and chickpeas are very common in that they both have all 9 essential amino acids. So they're really rich in high quality protein, and they're also really high in fiber. So for example, like a cup of chickpeas, if you eat a cup of chickpeas in one day, that's about half of the amount of fiber that an average adult should be having in a day. I think there's about 15 grams of fiber in just 1 cup. So pretty incredible. And then we have our mixed greens here in our bowl. Okay, we're going to be adding everything to that in a little bit. We have radicchio. So look at this gorgeous color, this purple. What is this telling us? That this is rich in antioxidants. This is also a beautiful, one of my favorite bitter vegetables, and it adds like a nice bitter quality and crunch to your recipes. Then we have our cucumber. Okay, I'm going to be cutting the cucumber, avocado, and strawberry with you all today. And our cucumber is rich in soluble fiber, and it has a ton of water, and it's a great way to stay hydrated. What else is rich in soluble fiber is our avocado. Avocado is rich in omega-3s as well, which is helpful for brain health. It's one of the favorite foods of the gut bugs that live in your microbiome as well. And our wild salmon here that we have out of the can is also rich in omega-3s. So really important for your gut health and for brain health. What else do we have? We have our strawberries. So, you know, if you've ever heard that saying, eat the rainbow that holds a lot of water, okay? Strawberries are really rich in vitamin C, so antioxidants. And so if you're trying to think about like all your vitamins and minerals that you should be having every day or every week, as long as you have a variety of color in your diet, you're most likely meeting your vitamin and mineral needs. So just a quick little trick. Okay, and then we have basil, which if you were here right now, you would just smell how amazing this is. This is filled with they're antimicrobials and anti-inflammatory. And then mint. Now mint is so powerful in its smell, and so if you ever add this to a salad or bowl, you're gonna send me an email and thank me, because you're gonna just like, it's gonna make you smile. It's so delicious. And mint is associated with digestive support. So mint in certain forms is an antispasmodic, and it can help with things like abdominal pain. And then we have our pepitas or pumpkin seeds. This is like a big punch of nutrition in these little guys. So this is rich in fiber and protein and healthy fats, and so really a great addition to this recipe. Okay, so let's get cooking. I have my cucumber here, and you can simply like cut rounds like so. You can cut them in half moons, which I did not divide very well. It really is about texture, you know, consistency, like mouthfeel. And I like to cut them a little bit smaller like this, so I have like every single ingredient trying to aim to get that in each forkful. Okay, so let's cut. The recipe calls for half. So I'm cutting these rounds, which you can do, and then cutting them in half after. Alternatively, you can take your cucumber long ways like this, cut it down the middle, and then cut them in the half moon shapes like so. Okay, so we're gonna do about half of these. And these cucumbers will really help keep you regular because they're rich in that soluble fiber. Okay, so as I'm cutting each of these ingredients, I'm just gonna throw them in our bowl. So here we have our cucumbers. We'll go ahead and throw these right on top of our mixed greens. And you know, we have mixed greens, but any lettuce you have in the fridge at home, really simple. This is not there's a lot of flexibility in here. You could do whatever you have. Okay, and then our strawberries, again, you can just cut them in half if you'd like. I'm just taking off the greens on the top. You know, depending on the size, these guys look pretty good. If I have a bigger one, maybe I'll quarter it so that I can have, you know, a little bit on each forkful. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these up. Okay. And interesting fact about strawberries is that they have that heart-healthy fat as well, because if you notice when you eat them and look at them, they have these itty bitty seeds. And seeds are made out of protein, made up of protein and fat. So not just fiber in this fruit here. Okay, so continue to cut your strawberries. I'll do about 3 more here. And you know, the chickpeas that I have roasted in the oven, those can take about 25 minutes. So if you're in a rush, or if you don't feel like it, or if you don't care about that crunchy, nutty texture, you don't have to roast them. Just make sure that when you are buying your chickpeas, I always like to recommend to patients to buy low sodium, and make sure that you're rinsing them before you use them. Okay, here are my strawberries. Okay, now we have our avocado. If anyone's ever heard of the avocado hand, be really careful when you're cutting an avocado. I'm gonna do it the safe way for you all. So you're gonna put a flat hand, you're gonna cut long ways on the avocado. And if it's nice and ripe, you should just be able to rotate it like this and it pops off. Okay, there are different ways to take out the nut here. Some people, you know, slam the knife and dig it in and then rotate it. If you have a nice ripe avocado, you should be able to just push out the back. Look at that. And the nut just comes out. So I'm just going to very carefully, because I'm cutting this in the palm of my hand, I'm gonna cut rows like so, and then rotate and cut more rows. So I'm just getting cubes of the avocado. Okay, and then we take our spoon like this, and we'll carve it out like so. It's really good to have a dish towel by you because your hands will get slippery. Ta-da. Okay, and I'm gonna cut out the next one. So again, these avocados are really rich in omega-3s and soluble fiber. So it's something that, you know, if I'm trying to help my patient stay regular, this is definitely one of the foods that I will recommend to them. And your gut bugs will thank you for it. Okay, I'm just getting a little of that seed out that got stuck in there. Okay, so scoop this out. You can dice these to how big or how small that you want. Good. Just get rid of this in this sink. Okay, and then we have our mint leaves. So beautiful. Okay, so I'm throwing in these whole, but you can tear them up, whatever you prefer. I like a lot of big mint flavor, but you could also rip them up like this. Same with our basil, okay? I like ripping. Some people prefer cutting. I'm just using a paring knife for today, but you might have a bigger one. So you could just place the leaves on top of each other, like a bunch at a time, and then just pull your knife back and cut them sort of in strips. Voila, okay? Whatever you prefer. Okay, we have our radicchio again. I mentioned this purple flavor. I have actually, yeah, I do have my bigger knife here. So radicchio, I'm just gonna cut out the front of that. Look at a little bit brown, a little oxidation there. Okay, and then you could just cut your radicchio like so, and then chop it along sideways like this. Can you guys hear that? It gives such a nice crunch to the salad. Okay, and then we'll throw this in. Excellent. And the recipe serves 6 people, so keep that in mind when you're making it. You could always cut that in half if you'd like. If it's 2 of you and you want to have some for leftovers for lunch or dinner. Okay, there's our radicchio. Okay, and then we have our pepitas here. So we're gonna sprinkle those in. Let's check on our chickpeas. Okay, look at these beautiful roasted chickpeas. I like to use parchment paper. I like to use parchment paper, especially if I'm in a rush, because it's like less cleanup afterwards. And these are gonna give a nice, nutty, crunchy flavor and texture to the bowl. Okay, and then we have our quinoa. I'm gonna use this avocado spoon. It's all going in the same place. Okay, let's put all this quinoa in here. It's amazing how much protein and fiber is in quinoa. And if you, by the way, and if you are in the audience and you don't eat gluten, if you have celiac disease, chickpeas and quinoa are great substitutes for your grains, for your gluten-containing grains. Okay, and then lastly we have our wild salmon. I'm using salmon today because it's so rich in omega-3s and your gut bugs love this, but you know, whatever you have in your pantry, if you have a can of tuna, you have a can of tuna. You could use that as well. Tofu, any of your favorite lean protein. Ta-da. Okay, and then our dressing today is super simple. We're using a balsamic vinaigrette. So balsamic vinegar I've already put in this jar here. I love using a mason jar because it just makes it so much easier. So I'm gonna add our olive oil. Measuring here using this jar, but you know, you could also go by eye if you're a professional. Let's add some salt and pepper to taste. And here's our pepper. I'm putting a little more because this is for 6 people. Perfect. And look at this, you're not fighting a bowl and a whisk. There's less to clean up at the end. Love a mason jar. Okay, so we have our dressing. We're gonna drizzle this over our salad. Ta-da. And the balsamic, by the way, is gonna pair so well with our radicchio because it's bitter and the balsamic is sweet. And then we're gonna mix this up. And that's pretty quick, right? I mean, a lot of these ingredients don't take a lot of preparation. And like I said, if you don't want to roast the chickpeas, that'll save time as well. And now you have this beautiful gut-friendly recipe that consists of 12 different plant foods for you to feed your microbiome. I'm going to show it to you. Ta-da! Again, my name is Christine Randazzo Kirschner, GI expert dietitian and co-founder of Amenta Nutrition. Feel free to follow us on social media at Amenta Nutrition. Have fun cooking at home and feeding your gut bugs.